Good afternoon. It's May 2nd, 2026. Been busy today, very busy today. Wearing my letters today. We had our Delta Academy today. It was really, really good. It was on health fitness. We had one of the sorors present. It was sort of like self-care. It was self-care and self-talk, positive self-talk and positive self-talk to others. And it was just taking care of yourself. So that was really, really good. And then another soror, that was Soror Felicia. And then we had another Soror Natalia who taught line dancing. But before she did line dancing, she talked about nutrition. I loved it. And the major thing that she said about nutrition was, if you, like we were talking about vegetables, right? And nuts and stuff like that. She said, everybody was talking about what kind of nuts and stuff they like, or what kind of vegetables they liked. And some people kind of brought up the ones they didn't care for. And I liked that she said, if you don't like one of those, like something, try eating it in a different way. And that really resounded to me. There's different ways you can cook vegetables, and there's different ways you can prepare fruit, and different ways, healthy fats, and just try it a different way. And then I accidentally, when we were putting together the snacks, the Philadelphia cream cheese got mixed in with the Greek yogurt. And so the Greek yogurt we were using didn't have any sugar in it, so I didn't think it tasted that really good. So I added fruit, and it tastes a little better, I should say. But somehow I got mixed up with the cream cheese, and it was really good after that. Yeah, it was really, really good. And and I really enjoyed that. But Angela came and got me, and we stopped at Dutch Brothers, the thing I like to do before we go to events. I hadn't done it in a while, and we went to Dutch, and I love their banana shake freeze. I used to always religiously get the caramel freeze. I want to go back to my caramel freeze because I do love my caramel freeze. So we began half today. We have another half this afternoon. We're going to be dinner and a show through my elevated program. And I thank God for these different activities, because even though I like staying at home, it breaks the routine. It gives me life. It gives me a little purpose. And so, Oh, my beautiful yard that has not been mowed yet. It's supposed to be mowed since the 24th of May. Hopefully it's supposed to be mowed tomorrow, because we had a lot of rain. That's why I haven't been walking. And even if I did get a little walk in, I haven't been recording. But I have been moving. I've been trying to do my best to move. But the last 2 days, that was an epic no because of the rain. I did not much not much happened there. I think I ran to the store a couple of times and walked around the store for a minute, but I don't want to get in that habit of staying in bed, and try to sit up, try to jump up and move back and forward. There's nothing wrong with, just get up, move back and forward, look out the window, walk around the house or something. My house ain't that big for me to walk around, to be honest. And I wasn't down for putting on a coat, carrying an umbrella, not like that, just to go outside. So I had a couple of days off, a break from actually moving. Actually, I can actually take a walk today, but I'm not feeling it. I have a lot to do, and I'm not feeling it, but this would be a perfect time right now. But I don't want to overexert myself either, because we were talking about part of self-care is not overexertion. And so right now, I'm not feeling at that point to get up, jump up, and run. And not run. That ain't happening. Running ain't going to happen. No. But to jump up and just start walking off from the house, especially when I have to be careful with my balance, but I'm not going to be afraid that my imbalance cause me to fear anything. I'm going to wander away from the house. Just gonna do that, And so yesterday, I was headed to the grocery store, which is, I always say down the street. It literally is down the street. I could walk if I wanted to, but you'd have to bring back the bags and walk back, not doing that. So I was turning left out of my street I looked both ways and then back, pulled out, and a car out of nowhere sped past me to my right. Now, what could have possibly happened was he was going far more over the speed limit coming down the street, and instead of him slowing down behind me, he decided, let me see if I can make it around her. And that shook me up. I didn't want to drive after that. Like, I don't know what's wrong with drivers, some drivers. What's in your mind? Do you know that you could leave your house one day and your whole intention is to go and do this and that, but then you get to that point where you're practicing that I need to be in front, I need to be ahead of somebody. For what? I don't know why, but or you just need to drive really, really fast, and what you end up severely killing or hurting somebody else. Or I should say killing or severely hurting somebody else, or you severely damage yourself where you can't walk, you can't talk, or you can't see, you can't move, you can't feed yourself, all because you're reckless. All because you're being nothing but reckless. And just because you're young or you think you're an experienced driver, you too can come to a halt. You could come to a halt. Your life can come to a halt. It doesn't necessarily need to be dead, because once it's dead, it don't matter. You don't suffer death. You unless you believe in the afterlife and that there's a consequences in the afterlife. But technically, with death, you know nothing about earth. You will be no longer aware of earth, and but if you survive it, that's the issue. And you could and even if you recover, it may take excruciating pain and suffering before you even get there, and that could take years. So slow down. Everybody, just slow down in life. What are you rushing for? Take a while, chill out, slow down, get where you're going, and get where you're going in one piece. You can also be liable. What if you don't get hurt at all, but you hurt somebody else? You could be facing jail time. You could be facing financial crisis because you're being sued. And believe me, they will take your money. It'll either cost you to where I can't afford to work, and then I won't work, or I won't work, and still you're not getting money. You're still not being where you want to be because you can't, because they're going to take your money. So slow down. It's not that serious, and we don't need to get there that quickly. Slow down. There are your citizens. There are citizens that are living a long time. They're not as alert as you are. When I say they're not, they're what's the word we do it? Their impulses aren't as strong as they used to be, but they have the right to drive. They have a right to be independent and get where they need to be without you running all over them or on top of them. Or just any innocent person driving have the right to be out and about without you taking their liberties from them. Slow down. And if you think everybody else is the bad driver, think again. Sometimes you yourself is a bad driver. Check yourself. Check yourself personally and making sure you're doing the right things. Because we always think, oh, everybody else is bad, when you know what? Because I know I've made some situations driving. It was my fault. I haven't had an accident, but it was my fault. The almost near cause was my fault. And God has had mercy on me, pity on me, and didn't allow me to have these accidents. And so let's slow down. Slow down, please. Let's be courteous and think about, and if you buy a nice vehicle, why would you want to drive so recklessly that you tear up your investment? If you pay $20,000 or more, I don't care how many thousands really or more for your vehicle, why would you put it out there where you can just destroy it? Stop thinking that it won't, it will. And it can. It can and it will. Slow down. There's people's loved one out there. You are someone's loved one. Slow down. So anyway, that's my little advice for today. Slow down. Slow down in everything. I was just talking to one of my sorors, my soropath. I was telling her that before my stroke, I said, I was having an amazing year. But the thing with that year was I wasn't taking care of my health. I wasn't eating right. But I loved what I did. Wasn't getting enough sleep. And one of the things was I was getting quite a bit of money. The money was amazing. Okay, I was getting good money, and I could buy whatever I wanted. Not everything, but I could get most of the things I wanted, and it was no big deal if the kids needed something or the grandkids needed something. If we wanted to go out and have some fun, it was just there, and I was having the time of my life, but I wasn't taking care of myself that whole time. Self-care was not there, and then I had the stroke, and was not planning on having a stroke. Who does? Wasn't seeing it coming. Had a doctor's appointment, and all I could see was summer coming, and wow, I'm tired, and at least I get to have summer off, and I get to get to rest. That's what I was thinking. Well, finally you get to rest. It's summertime now. You finally get to rest, and next year you're going into a new building, just some new beginnings, all of that, right? I wasn't going to work night school anymore, so I was just anticipating going to work and leaving work early in the afternoon at 3 something every day, and just be gone. It didn't happen that way. The Saturday of that summer, which I call the beginning, everything went down. And one of the things I do believe that had not that happened, I would have went back to work the next year. Even though I quit night school, they'll probably guilt me into working night school. Maybe. Who knows? I don't think they could have guilted me into working night school. But that could have happened. But I don't think I would have slowed down. I just don't think so. And like I said, it was the best year I had. It was the best year I had working for this school. My favorite years have been with the school before that. But I don't want to, declare how much I liked the school before that to take away from the last school. I'm sorry, the school before that was my school. Sorry, that was my school. Did many years there. And the second school, trying to really feel it, as you could say. It's not the school, it's the way the school is operated. It's a different type of operation than traditional school. And yeah, I like traditional school. So if I had to wrap this up, what am I trying to say? Slow down. Self-care. Self-awareness. And then when you get all that intact and you put all that together, be aware of others. Take care of others. If you feel good about yourself, if you have love for yourself, it's going to be really, really hard of a struggle for you to be unkind to somebody else. So anytime y'all come at me all negative, or you say something mean to me, there's the one thing in my heart and mind I know. Things ain't going right with you, because it's highly impossible for you to put someone down when you feel amazingly about yourself.